This next question is for the treasurer candidates. The question is, what are some of the innovations and changes that you would bring to the office? And let's start with Ms. Swanson.
When you talk about treasurer's office, it's financial. And I know I've had some financial conversations with Dave McGraw, but financial takes in a very broad area. So what else can the treasurer's office do besides balancing the books, taking in money, dispersing the money, doing that properly, which is very important. But it's also customer service. It's also possibly budgeting. I've already talked to some of the mayors in the outlying communities. They need help on budgeting. I have 30 years experience in budgeting. I've also done budgets for grants. I think that can be done. Quite often the deciding point on a grant is the budget, whether it's going to be accepted or declined. I have a very good track record on budgets for grants. I'd like to see that done. Many other things I can do, financial feasibility studies and financial modeling. I talked to Kendrick about, if you want to buy a new building or remodel a building, buy software, buy a piece of equipment.
Right.
I have a model that can tell you whether to do that or not.
Thank you very much. Ms. Gottschalk.
As treasurer, I would convene in the office and determine what changes or innovations may need to take place. I don't believe in making a stance on it, changing something until I'm specifically involved in the office and know exactly what's needed. And it all depends on the budget as well as if there's money to make changes. So we can't just go ahead without having funding.
Thank you very much. Mr. Gilbert.
I kind of addressed this question already, but the AS400 is probably one of the biggest changes as far as innovation that's going to happen in the treasurer's office. And the treasurer and the office needs to be prepared for that when it comes. AS400 quite simply is a DOS-based program that we use to communicate with the assessor's office, post payments, et cetera. And it's also how we communicate with the state. But when this transition happens, which has been promised for almost 7 years, by the way, but when it happens, and I assume it will, the treasurer's office needs to be prepared for that, and we have to do that with education of the employees as well as the treasurer, staying current, and when it does happen, be prepared for it. The only other thing I can think of, there's a couple we might consider. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Ms. Ellis.
Hello? Okay, now I'm on. So I as well do not want to make any promises to anybody, not being in office, not knowing what the budgets are, not knowing what the money is. I do know, and as I stated in my one of my 2 questions, one of the things that I do want to take a look at is the computer system. I worked with some real wonderful companies that have great computer systems, and I've heard from some of the people that live in Latah County how the current system does not help them, that they are having to do all the legwork to get information from one department to another. Now I am just going on hearsay, but I would like to take a look at that and see if there is a possibility that we can make things better for the people of Latah County and better integrate our systems within the county departments.
Thank you very much, Ms. Davis.
Well, to reiterate the obvious, I also believe it's important to at least go through one tax cycle within the office so that I really understand how everything is working, what isn't working. Listen to the employees that already work there, that have so much input. They really know what they need more than anything, and so it's kind of naive to suggest that I could tell you how to change things. But one thing that has caught my attention that I would like to implement is an advisory council that would help us with our investments, because no one in that's sitting up here is a stockbroker or a financial planner or any of those things. So I'm hoping that by bringing those kind of professional people in for an advisory position, that we might see some better opportunities to invest our money.
Thank you very much.